Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Vista Center's Check It Out with Vista. My name is Morgan Pimentel, and I'm one of the assistive technology specialists here at the Vista Center. I'm thrilled that you've joined us for today's presentation. We're recording today's meeting. If you don't want to be recorded, you can turn off your camera or you can exit the meeting. In a couple of weeks, today's recording will be uploaded on our website, Vista Center at vistacenter.org under accessible technology, and then check it out. And it will also be uploaded to our YouTube channel. So if you happen to stop by over there, please remember to give us a like and a follow if you want to. We hold these monthly Check It Out presentations on the first Friday of every month, unless otherwise specified. As an attendee today, your name will automatically be on our Check It Out email list, and you'll receive a meeting announcement 1 to 2 weeks prior to each meeting. Our next Check It Out will be on August 7th, 2026 at 10 a.m. For today's presentation, my co-host Alice has muted everyone. During the presentation, if you have a question, please raise your hand and either myself or my co-host Alice will call on you in the order hands are raised. When you're called on, you'll need to unmute yourself. If you're unfamiliar with Zoom meeting shortcuts, on a PC, it's Alt plus Y to raise and lower your hand, Alt plus A to mute and unmute yourself. And if you hold down the space bar, it will temporarily unmute yourself. And then when you let go, it mutes you again. If you're using a Mac, it's Option plus Y to raise and lower your hand, Command plus Shift plus A to mute or unmute yourself. If you're calling in by the phone, it's star and then 9 to raise and lower your hand, and then star and then 6 to mute and unmute yourself. Without further delay, I would like to introduce Travis Ray, who's the accessibility consultant with the Tovala Smart Oven. Travis, please take it away.
Thank you so much, Morgan. I really appreciate it. And it's nice to see everybody here today. We're going to be talking about the Tovala Smart Oven and their meal kit program and all of its accessibility features. I've been in the smart appliance space for almost a decade and have been working in accessibility for about 2 or 3 years. And I've been really impressed with a lot of Tavala's accessibility features that we're going to go through today. But before I start, I just wanted to introduce Taryn Aronson, who is Tavala's CFO. So I'll let her say hi.
Hi, everyone. Thanks. Yeah, I know I gave some of you a quick introduction earlier, but I'm Taryn. I'm the CFO at Tovala. I've been with the company for almost 10 years now, since before we launched. Worn a lot of different hats. So very excited to be here today and help support Travis in sharing more about our product service offering, and hopefully can answer any questions that you have.
Yeah, and while we go through this, I love having kind of open discussions. So, like Morgan said, please feel free to raise your hand or interrupt at any time. It's okay. I like to have a very participatory session, especially when it's a small group like this. I feel like we can cover a lot of things that are, unique and specific to you guys if you want. So, feel free to ask questions throughout the presentation. So, I think it's best to start with what is Tovala? Tovala is primarily a meal kit delivery subscription service that is tied to a smart oven that allows cooking those meals with really unparalleled ease and convenience like you've never seen before. The Tovala has been around for, like Taryn said, I think almost 10 years. They started shipping their first meals back in 2017, and their goal was really to help home cooks to get dinner on the table fast and easy without a whole lot of preparation. A lot of Tavala's core customers don't like to cook or don't necessarily have the skills to cook, and this is different than a lot of the meal kits that I think most people are familiar with. When we talk about some of those other meal kit companies, a lot of times they come and they have an extensive list of preparation instructions. A lot of these preparation instructions are also going to include visual cues, like things like sear the chicken until it's brown on one side and then flip it, which is going to be very difficult for somebody who's blind or visually impaired, potentially. So what Tovala does is sends the meal kits with the protein is raw, and so you're not. A lot of people, I think, when they hear meal kits, they think, "Oh, well, we're just going to be reheating or retherming some already pre-cooked food," and that's not the case here. What they're going to do is have a couple of different aluminum tins with different components in it, and the preparation is as simple as opening up the box. And Tovala is unique because it has scan to cook barcode technology. When you get a Tovala meal, the recipe card that describes what's in the box has a barcode on it. And you can either use the Tovala device, it has a barcode scanner on the top of the device, or you can use your smartphone to scan that barcode, and it takes you directly into the Tovala app and directly links that meal that you've chosen and sets up the oven so that you only have to do some very minor preparation. You might have to season the protein with a seasoning or open a sauce packet and squeeze that over some pasta. And then you put the containers into the Tovala and push go. It's literally that simple. Scan, prepare, and push go. Go ahead, Morgan.
Does the meals come with the seasoning and the sauces? We're currently doing Cook Unity, and it's very similar, except you don't get a smart oven with it. You use
Hmm.
your own oven, but that comes with the sauce and whatever you need. So I was just curious if Tovala works the same way with that, or do you have to use your own seasonings?
No, you don't have to use your own seasonings. Everything comes in the kit that you would need. They're often going to be three or four component packets, whether that's going to be uh, grated cheese or
Mm,
bacon, or in
got
one
it.
case
Okay.
that I used personally that came with a chicken that had a pasta, and you also had a little seasoning packet for the chicken.
Oh, okay, okay. Yum.
So very, very simple.
Yeah.
Um, Now, Tovala was originally, designed to help, like I said, home cooks get dinner on the table. It's interesting how they got started in this accessibility field. I spoke with a couple of the software engineers recently who were uh, the first ones to start working on VoiceOver and TalkBack on the Tovala app. And I thought this was important to share that one of them has a sister that has cerebral palsy. And he they used an Apple computer back in the 90s with some early accessibility features, and that's what actually inspired him to become a software engineer in the first place. And so when he got to Tovala, there was another engineer that had worked at Apple and had a contact there at Apple that is visually impaired that was able to help give a lot of feedback on the early initial integrations with VoiceOver and TalkBack on their mobile app. So um, I think it's important just to note that they got into this um, from a personal standpoint of caring about the community and wanting to do good. It wasn't part of the initial outset. And you guys are familiar with this. Many products that are in the assistive technology world started out in the kind of consumer market. And then oftentimes people find like, whoa, this has elevated levels of importance for people with different disabilities. That's the case here. And so Tovala leaned into it and worked really hard on the VoiceOver and TalkBack integration into the app to allow people um, to who have blindness or visual impairment to cook independently, safely at home. There's a number of other features I think that are important to call out for you guys. Other than the integrated screen reader support, Tovala has no touchscreen. This is a huge deal because most other smart oven and other smart devices have a digital touchscreen, which is not accessible for people with blindness or visual impairment in most cases. So Tovala instead uses the app, but the app is fully supported by VoiceOver and TalkBack. So the app is fully accessible. It has tactile buttons instead of a touch screen, which is a huge benefit to people with blindness and visual impairment. Um, it has manual modes. In addition to the meal kit programs, you can cook your own food with Tovala. They have over 1,000 popular grocery items that you can scan the barcode and it automatically pulls it up. These are things like the whole assortment of Ore-Ida frozen potatoes, Eggo waffles, Amy's Organics, Stouffer's meals, things that you would find in the grocery store that are super easy to scan and cook. Um, One of the biggest other benefits is the automatic shutoff. So a lot of times people forget to turn the oven off. Anytime you start the Tovala, it's going to automatically shut off once you're done cooking whatever it was that you set out to cook. Um, and so you don't have to worry about remembering to turn the oven off. It also has remote oven setup and control via the app. And one of the biggest benefits too is that Tovala does not require sighted assistance for initial setup. When you open the box and pull the smart oven out and put it on the counter, there is a barcode on it's a sticker on the front window. And when you scan that barcode, it connects you to the Tovala app. And because there's no manual touchscreen, you do all of the connection via the phone so that that initial setup is fully accessible for people with blindness and visual impairment, which is really unique in this market. Do we have any questions so far? Before I keep going. All right. So Tovala, like I said, is the primary business is a meal kit delivery service. Tovala is shipping over 250,000 meals per week right now. The average cost of the meals is about $12.99 per serving, but they really start at $9.99. And you can get a box of the meals anywhere from 4, 6, 8, or 12 meals per week, depending on how much you want and how large your family size is.
So I have a question. Do you have to have a smart oven or is this not gonna work, right?
Um, the meal kits, the benefit of the meal kits with the Tovala Smart Oven is that it is fully automated. You could certainly cook these meal kits in a regular oven, but you wouldn't have that benefit of the automation or the connection via the app with the oven itself. So, I think you would definitely want the oven when using the meal kits, but the important thing to note is that the oven can do many things outside of the meal kits.
So do you
Uh,
have to buy the oven or do you guys
Well,
only
that
support
depends.
the app or
There's a number of different ways. When you purchase the Tovala and sign up for 6 weeks of meal deliveries, the oven is significantly discounted. Um, it almost in something. Taryn, do you want to weigh in on what that price is?
I guess before that, do we have to like remodel my house or a little confused here because well, I had to remodel my house when I got a new oven. So I'm
Oh
just
no,
Can
this is
I?
a smart oven that's on the countertop.
Yeah, I was
It's a
actually, yeah, I was just gonna say, can I help explain?
Yeah, it's about the size of a microwave oven.
okay.
Mhm.
I was like, what?
So no need to redo your kitchen at all. You can plug this into any 110, 120 volt. You can put it on any countertop. It can be at any height. So for somebody that uses a wheelchair, for example, they could put the oven on a lower counter. It is only about is the weight 20 pounds?
Yeah, about that.
Very
Yeah,
light.
and so if you want to buy the oven as a standalone, we have two models, one's at 349 and one's at 399. But we typically offer a big discount on the oven when you commit to purchasing meals, 6 orders within 6 months. And so, that is our most of our customers come to us for the meal service. And that so they enjoy getting the benefit of an oven for $69 or sometimes even less, where we run promos. But there is, for someone that is interested in the oven that doesn't want to commit to the meal service, you can buy it at full price. So it's still a good price relative to any other countertop oven on the market that has all these features that, as I mentioned, we heavily discount if you are interested in the meal service.
Yeah,
What's
the
the
pricing
difference
for the
between the models? Sorry.
difference between the model, the air fry and the pro model is that the pro model has a steam function to
Oh,
it.
nice.
The cool thing though is that with the air fry model, both models make the meal kits exactly the same. So it doesn't matter. You don't have to have the pro model to make certain meals. The air fry model works for all of them.
Mhm.
Um, and in some cases, I think some blind and visually impaired feedback I've heard was that they, in some cases, prefer the air fry model because then they don't have to add water into the reservoir for steam,
Mm,
things like that. But
mhm.
if you wanted to steam, like do steamed broccoli or something, the Pro model is definitely the way to go, and it's only $50 more.
So can we
So
buy this at Amazon or do we have to buy it from you guys?
We it is available on Amazon. The pricing for the standalone oven is it might similar, it might be a little better on our website. So if you go to our website, it is much more focused on the meal service, but there is a link on the bottom to buy the standalone oven.
And then my question is, how do they know when to stop? Because this happened to me a couple of days ago. Something started to burn. How do they know when to stop?
Can you give me an example?
Like, let's say you want to cook different food, has different way of like heating, one's cooking. Like it takes longer to cook like maybe meats and vegetable and all that other kind of stuff because of the temperature control. How do they know when to stop? So
It's
that
okay, got it.
because my we burn our microwave, I had to put it in the backyard because it was smoke all over the place.
Oh no. I can address that. So if you're using a Tovala meal kit, those are programmed by the Tovala chef team. They have a lot of chefs on staff that design these meals and the meal kits. And so those are already automatically programmed into the device. So if you use a Tovala meal kit with that, with the Tovala itself, you're not going to burn anything. It would be nearly impossible. Additionally, if you use the scan to cook on the grocery items that I mentioned, of which there's over 1,000, those automatically shut off just the same way because it's been programmed by the chef team at Tovala. One thing I hadn't mentioned is that Tovala has 200 plus chef designed recipe programs for using your own food for basic things like cooking a chicken breast or cooking a salmon fillet, shrimp, bacon, even eggs. So a lot of the things that you would want to make on your own, they already have automated one-touch programs for where you just load the food into a cold oven, by the way, which reduces your burn risk by about 50% because you're not having to preheat the oven. And you push the start button and that's it. And it just automatically shuts off because it's programmed on the back end using different kind of programming codes that tell the oven when to shut off based on what parameters has been put into the program. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You could make eggs in the oven. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Karen, can
How
I
many
make a
meals we get?
observation or comment?
Sure.
Um, so I realize I'm old school, but unless you convince me today to sign up for your product, I'm not coming back to your website because your website requires my zip code and my email address before I can really start exploring your meal plans. And I'm not going to come back and do that. So you may want to. I understand from a marketing perspective why when you get somebody at your site, you want their contact information right from the get go. But I'm sure there's a lot of people like me that's not going to give that to you right up front.
Thank you for that feedback. Um, Perla, you have a question. But Perlo, you have to make sure you unmute too.
Okay. I'm interested in the oven,
Hmm.
more than the food plan.
Hmm.
And so I have questions like, what is it made of? Is it all steel or what?
Yeah, it is primarily metal in composition.
Yeah.
So
The good news, and
I-
it's competitively priced with most air fryers out there. I think one of the key benefits of the Tovala is that it does not use any plastic inside the chamber like a lot of air fryers do. Most air
Yeah.
fryer baskets are plastic that have you put a liner in that. I I think we're going to look back years from now and realize that using plastic in a cooking device was a bad idea. Uh,
Okay.
so
So,
Tavala's air fryer basket is fully metal. So it's similar, it uses similar heating elements to a traditional toaster oven. They're cal rod heating elements. So its form factor um, is bigger than a traditional toaster oven, about the size of a microwave, but can do so many things. It can, in addition to air frying, it can bake, it can broil, it can reheat, and in some cases it can steam.
what about cleaning?
Well, when you're using the Tovala meal kits, there is very minimal splatter because the walls of the containers that are in there um, prevent a lot of splatter. But I think cleaning in general is going to be, it depends on what you're cooking too. If you cook, if you bake cookies all the time in it, you're not going to ever have to clean it. If you make bacon in it 5 times a week, that's probably going to build up a little bit over time. But uh, the walls and the cleaning inside of it should be relatively simple.
Like, what do you mean by relatively simple? It's sponge and dish soap or
Sponge and dish soap will do a lot. You could also use something like Barkeeper's Friend um, on the inside as well.
keeper's friend. I think I don't know about that. Okay. I'll look into that. What can I eliminate? Like, okay, can I use it like a toaster? Can I use it uh,
Absolutely.
instead of a microwave?
Yes. So it does not have microwave, it does not have a magnetron like a microwave would. So reheating something like a baked potato will take longer in the Tovala than it would in a microwave. However, reheating something like a piece of pizza is going to be far superior in the Tovala versus doing it in the microwave because you have the heating elements that are not agitating water molecules and are actually crisping the outside of the foods.
What about coffee? Like, can I put a coffee cup in there and heat it up?
I wouldn't do that. I think the microwave's probably the better tool for that job. The reason being, I mean, you could put coffee in there. It's just, I don't think it's the right tool for the job. Also because it's going to heat whatever vessel, unlike a microwave. The microwave
Yeah,
doesn't
right,
heat the
right, right,
coffee cup itself.
right.
So, for reheating a cup of soup or a cup of coffee, I think the microwave is a better tool. But for reheating most foods, the
Okay.
Tovala is going to be superior to a microwave.
And what about toast?
It toasts fantastically. It's one of the key manual functions. Um, and like we said, it uses cal rod heaters just like a toaster oven does.
yeah, there's a toast button right on the main display on the
I see.
that um, is tactile.
And does it toast both sides at the same time, or you have to turn it over?
It does. It's very,
Both
very
sides.
simple.
Okay,
You
There are
really want to
five
think of,
levels of toast that you can, based on how much how toasted you like it.
I see.
and then you can bake in it too and broil. So I think in many cases it can replace your traditional oven. There's one use case where you can't and that's going to be on Thanksgiving Day. If you want to make a whole turkey, you're going to need the regular oven. But the Tovala is big enough to cook a whole chicken. Like a 5, 6 pound chicken, it can do it.
Okay. And but that would make a lot of splatter with a lot of cleanup,
Um,
I
I
would
think
think.
I don't. A lot of cleanup can be mitigated if you do something that you know is going to be a little bit greasy. If once the oven cools down, you just wipe it out with a paper towel. That's going to save you a lot of headache later on. Because what happens is when foods cook and the splatter happens, the longer you let it sit on the wall, the more it's going to bake on and sort of anneal
Yeah.
to the wall. But if you know that you have a splatter um, type cook, you could very easily just wipe out the interior with a paper towel once you're done, and that should really reduce the amount of cleaning that you're going to have to do long term.
Okay. All right. Great.
And
Thank
I
you.
don't think even if you didn't clean your oven ever, it's not going to affect its cooking performance.
Yeah, but it'd be pretty ugly and smelly. That doesn't sound like a good plan.
Well, no, I just wanted to
Yeah,
give you the
I understand what
example.
you're saying. Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you so much for answering all my questions.
For sure. Morgan, you had a question too.
Before you go there, by the way, Sam Chen is on now also.
Hi,
He's on
Sam.
the phone, so he made it on. And Morgan, I sent him the link to try again. So
Oh, you sent Sam the link. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So the cooking, right? I did have a question about that. So you said you can cook most things about this. For example, I have leftover refried beans and rice in my fridge.
Mhm.
What about something like that?
That would be a very good use case for this.
Cool. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic use case. Also, because with refried beans and rice, you can spread them out, and the more you spread something out like that, the faster it's going to reheat. So if you spread it out on the tray, you would get reheat times similar to a microwave
Oh, very nice. Okay.
or that kind of
So
thing. Again, something more dense and um, thick will take a little bit longer than a microwave, but in most cases, the flatter and the, reheating a chicken breast or reheating a slice of pizza or something like that is not going to take very much time. 3 to 5 minutes.
so my question is, we were just making tuna melt. Is it gonna take a long time to make like something that you have to melt, or like a flat potato? I had to make a flat potato and heat it in the oven. Is it gonna take longer for those kind of weird stuff that I did, like a tuna melt or something like that that requires
A tuna
extreme?
melt should not take much time at all. I would say that would be 10 minutes, maybe tops.
Okay. And
And
then also,
it
yeah, and
depends
then
what size.
also, is there a flat top? Can I cook egg on it?
There's not a flat top. It is, you have to think of it as an oven chamber, just like any other traditional oven, but there is no griddle or flat top on it. In order to cook eggs, you're going to put them on a tray and put them in the Tovala and push the button when you select the egg program.
Does the tray come with it, or do I have to get my own separate flat top tray?
No, it comes with a lot of different accessories and trays. So it has an air fry basket, it has a standard cooking tray, it's got a wire rack. You can put other things inside of it, like if other kinds of metal would be totally fine to put inside. I probably wouldn't put plastic in there, but easy to reheat frozen, other kind of frozen meals and things like that too.
Can I make bread? Let's say I have sourdough. Can I make bread?
Yes. Yeah, you would use the bake function, set it to, depending on what the recipe called for, 350 to 400, and absolutely can make bread. Bob, you have a question.
Hi, thank you. Do you have vegetarian and vegan meal plans available?
We do. Yes. We have the meal plans for all different kinds of diets, vegetarian, vegan, GLP-1 friendly meals, all different kinds of options. And the menu rotates too on a weekly basis. So they have, obviously some bestseller meals, but they're always rotating in new meals and keeping that menu fresh so that you don't get tired of having the same thing over and over again.
And two kind of follow-up questions. Um, how long does the food keep once you receive it? And can you describe um, how we actually receive it? What's
Yes.
the
So
packaging like or whatever?
it's recommended to cook most of the foods within 5 days. If you're using some of their seafood recipes, shrimp, fish, things like that, those will come to you, and they recommend cooking the seafood within 2 days or freezing the seafood so that you can cook it later. When you receive the box will come in the mail. It will have notifications on the outside that it's perishable. And the proteins will be packed in the bottom of the box closest to the ice packs, and the rest of the meal kits will be in their separate boxes on top of that. Like I said, when you open the meal kit, there's a barcode. Um, some known constraints on the barcode there is that we've heard loud and clear from the blind and visually impaired users that that barcode can be difficult at first to find because right now, there's no tactile um, notification of where that barcode's going to be. That being said, once you have done it once, the barcode's in the same place every time. It's in the top right corner of the recipe card. So once you kind of get within the groove of it, it should be much easier to find that. And Tovala is looking into um, options to make that barcode easier to find, whether that's a tactile barcode or a notch that's placed into the recipe card. There's a lot of options out there that they're considering.
And one last question on your meal plans. Um, do you get breakfast, lunch, and dinner? And if you do, are they interchangeable? Can you pick and choose, or is each meal plan based on a day?
Great question. It's really flexible. I would say most of the meals are geared toward getting dinner on the table. You don't see a lot of breakfast meals, and I think any of those dinner meals obviously could be used for lunch. Um, Taryn, do you have any thoughts on you have
Yeah, we
some
have a
breakfast items?
We do have a few 2 to 3 breakfast items each week. Some of them show up as a main dish. Some of them, we also have an extra store that are more like add-ons or snacks or desserts. And so some of our breakfast items show up in the extra store that you can add on to any order that you make.
Most
But it,
breakfasts, though, that you would want to make have the automated recipe programs for them so that you can use your own food. If we take the traditional sort of American breakfast where you're gonna have toast, that's obviously very quick and easy to do, eggs, bacon, and then with all of the scan to cook, if you wanted to do toaster pastries or Eggo waffles, those all have barcode scanner capabilities on there too. So the breakfast can be an automated one touch. Um, it can be that simple.
Great. Thank you, and thank you for
Travis, I got
being
a
here today.
question. Are these meals like how are these like fishes and meat? How are they sourced? Are they from a farm that, or are they like sourced from the ocean, or like how are they sourced? I'm just curious how these like food are sourced.
um, so we manufacture all the food ourselves and prepare all the food ourselves in we have facilities in Illinois and Utah. Um, the raw ingredient sourcing is combination of um, kind of more local sources for proteins, and then we work with local fresh produce, and then we work with the bigger distributors for more commodity products like seasonings and things like that. Um, I believe all of our meat is sourced domestically. Our some of our Most of our seafood we do have to source internationally.
Are they like from the ocean, or they are like because like I know that if you get like ocean trout, it's more expensive, it's better, or the eggs the same thing. If you get like a open source egg, they're better. Are these like under consideration for you guys? Or we
Yeah,
should go to the
we
supermarket and get those better ingredients. I'm not saying you have bad ingredients or anything.
no, we do. We definitely focus on quality and consistency. That's kind of critical to make sure that you know, our spec for proteins has to be very tight, so that we can ensure it cooks perfectly in the oven every time. And so, we make sure to work with providers. So I know our salmon is from Norway, and then we have shrimp and hake and trout, a few other seafood items. Crab cakes, those are delicious.
And how do you determine the nutritional value? How can we order something that's like more nutrition, like determine the nutritional value of each item?
Yes, all that information is available on the app website for each. So I think as Travis mentioned, there's about 40 options each week, and there's filters and other ways to pick the types of meals that you're looking for, whether it's if you're looking for, something on the healthier side, low carb, high protein, and then you can click and or use the voice activation to get more of that nutrition information. We use a software program that helps us populate all of that nutritional information.
Yeah, it's within every meal, and when you go in there on using VoiceOver, there's a section of that says what's in the box. There's a section for instructions and also a section for nutrition facts.
So follow-up question, how big are each meal? Because I'm a big eater. I always go for seconds. So big are each meal. So am I gonna get hungry just eating one meal? I guess that's the
I
question.
I would say that they're just a very reasonable size. They're not like huge meals, but they're not small either. They're what I would say is just a very simple, normal, reasonable
Okay.
size. If you're a big eater, you could probably eat more than one, but I think for most people, one is sufficient. And I've even heard from some other users that one meal was actually served two people. So it just kind
Really?
of depends.
Wow.
Everybody's a little bit different. It depends.
Okay, thank you.
So I've been working with Tovala for about 3 months, and we've done a number of things in that time to um, really try and get out into this market. One, obviously, I'd worked with the Vista Center before, and so I was eager to work with you guys. But Tovala has also joined ATIA and Resna as members, and they are planning to attend an exhibit at the ATIA show in Orlando in January, and also at CSUN in March of 2027. So if any of you guys attend CSUN, please make sure to stop by at that time. A couple of other things that are going on. I'm working right now with a company called Mystic Access that is going to be doing a comprehensive audio guide for the blind and visually impaired. And Kim and Chris Nova run Mystic Access. They're both visually impaired. And so this audio guide will be produced and narrated by visually impaired people and giving their perspective. And it should be very, very detailed. We're thinking of having a short version and a long version, and the long version could be upwards of 2 hours just for like really deep dive and give information for the blind and visually impaired from somebody that understands that experience.
Um,
Paula, you.
oh, sorry.
Oh,
That's okay. Go ahead. I just wanted to let Alice know something real fast. That's okay.
Yeah, Paula?
Yeah, Paula had a few questions. One, do you have organic food options?
We don't have organic today. That is something that we have, thought about adding in the future. So, we do, the kind of the beauty of our food relative to other meal services is that it's all real food. It is, natural preservatives, and not added preservatives. And so, but yes, so that's something where, the beauty of our, as I was saying, the beauty of our bill service is a platform, right? So we can, as we expand our capabilities and the size of our facility, we're able to add more menu options each week and can add more specific dietary preferences. So that is an ongoing effort for our team.
Great. And what are those natural preservatives?
Salt primarily.
Right. And do you use silicone in any of your equipment?
I
That
don't
I'm
think
not
so. I
sure
think
about.
if you wanted to use a silicone mold or baking mat when using Tavala's bake function, that would be fine.
Yeah, no, Paula's allergic to it, so that's great. And
Oh yeah,
also,
but there's no silicone in their cookware or anything like that. It's not there.
great. And uh, the containers, are they made of aluminum?
They are.
They are. Okay. I think that was it.
Yeah, they make it really, really easy, especially relative to other meal kit companies, because other meal kit companies will send you kind of the raw ingredients, and there's going to be a lot of preparation steps involved. Tovala has taken a lot of that effort out by putting things into packets, by taking care of most of the dicing and slicing for you. You might have to cut up a mushroom or something um, on some of the kits, but that's going to be about the extent of the cutting. It's really going to be more about unnesting the two containers, seasoning and adding your sauce packets and putting it in and press and go.
One thing, great. And one more question. Do you have any low sodium options?
That's a great question. That is something we're paying a lot of attention to right now. So I'm sure we do have some, but I don't think we have a tag for low sodium yet. And our that has we get a lot of feedback from customers requesting low sodium. So our team is actively working on trying to build out that the offering there and the tagging of it so customers know.
The good news, though, is that a lot of this is you can personalize this yourself. Like when I saw the chicken and pasta meal, it comes with a seasoning packet, but you don't have to use all of the seasoning. And if you wanted to have a lower sodium option, you could use a little bit less of the sauces or a little bit less of the seasoning, but you have the control of seasoning those proteins on your own. I think
I'm sorry to keep one more thing.
No, go ahead.
Do you use MSG in any of your products?
No.
Good. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, Diane.
So the pricing, how does that work? Let's say you just get the meals. How much would that be? How do you price the meals?
So a standard meal is $12.99, and the minimum box order is 4 meals per week. You don't have to order every week. You can pause, you can skip, you can cancel. We're not trying to lock anyone in. We believe in our product and believe people will come back and order more when they want to. But we do have some meals that are multiple servings in one pack that are lower priced. They're typically some $8.99, typically $9.99 for what we call a 2-pack meal. And then we have a couple items a week that are family meals that are similar price point, $8.99, $9.99 per serving. And then we have some meals where there's an added surcharge. So for like steak and some seafood dishes, they may be an extra $2 to $3, depending on what it is, but you don't have to order those meals. Our chicken dishes and vegetarian dishes and many of our beef dishes are at that $12.99 price point.
Significantly more affordable than ordering DoorDash or going out to eat. And the convenience again comes in with not having to do all the preparation, the cutting, the slicing to get everything ready. It's just makes it very, very simple.
And you said you could cook them in a regular oven if, let's say, you didn't get the oven.
You could cook these meals in a regular oven. You would lose the benefit of that automation though, and
Right.
the fact that when you scan that meal and the Tovala knows exactly what meal it is and it is pre-programmed to cook that meal perfectly, and it can actually do multiple different steps too. And that's what you're going to lose if you cook the meals in a traditional oven. I'll give you an example. If you had a cheesy pasta dish, the Tovala will spend some time warming everything, but then it would move into a broil mode at the very end to brown the cheese on top. You're not going to have that sense of automation if you're using your traditional oven, though it is possible
Yeah.
to cook all of these, but you lose that benefit of automation, which I think is the one of the primary, if not the primary benefit of using a smart oven.
Right. Okay. All right. Thanks.
Hey, Bob.
Can you cook other kind of meal on like different non-Tovala meal on the oven?
Absolutely. Yes. In fact, I mentioned, there's over 1,000 popular grocery items, whether those are frozen meals, Eggo waffles, Pop-Tarts, all kinds of things that you can find at the grocery store. That list of grocery options is constantly evolving as companies, introduce new products and pull old products off of the shelves. And you can use your own food in automation when you use those 200 plus chef programmed automated recipe programs.
So can
So,
I do automation with the oven using other food? Like let's say I have the oven. Let's say one of the recipes say heat for 5 minutes. Can the oven do that for me automatically? That's not non-Tovala meal.
yeah, so let's say you wanted to cook a chicken breast.
Okay.
You would go into the Tovala app using VoiceOver, and then you would search for chicken breast, and it would pull up that recipe program. It would tell you how much to use, and then you just simply put it into the oven and push start, and it will automatically shut off when it's done.
So okay. And then the final thing is, do you have different kind of meal like Chinese, Mexican, Japanese?
All different kinds of international
Okay.
cuisines from all over the world.
That's it. Thank you.
Bob?
Two questions. One, so let's say, I have today's dinner meal plan. How long before that rotates back around where I could order that one again? And then second question is this used like, I don't mean to, like like light technology? Is that how this is primarily heating up the food, is with lamps?
No, these are using CalRod heating elements. So similar to toaster ovens and other countertop ovens, it's not using lamps. It's using those CalRod heating elements.
Okay, and the meal plans cycling. I know you said, they rotate. I'm just trying to figure out how frequently before like today's meal would be available again.
Yeah, it depends on the meal. So we definitely have some fan favorites that, we repeat, and we actually have like tagging on the app that lets you know that, it's something you've ordered before, or, one of your favorites. But there's consistency in the structure of the menu. There's always chicken dishes with side of vegetable and a carb. There's salad dishes where you can add salmon or pork chop or chicken or shrimp. And so there's some consistency, but the flavors or the specific side dish might shift from week to week.
Thank you. And so did you mentioned salad? So are some of the dishes or meals that are available like cold options that you don't actually have to heat them?
There are some meals where you don't heat the whole thing. So the salad, for example, the lettuce wouldn't be heated, but the protein you would cook, and then you combine it after cooking.
And you would get the other ingredients for the salad comes with the kit, or you
Yeah,
would
it
add
all
those
comes
optional?
together.
Okay, Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think, Taryn, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's any cases in the meal kits where you have to go get some ingredient on your own. It all comes ready for you to ready to prepare, and you're not even going to have to go um, add even things like butter. Butter comes with the kit.
That's right. Yeah, there's some meals where I'd say they're more advanced cooking where we ask you to put aluminum foil on the sheet tray just to, make cleanup easier, reduce sticking, but it's optional. But yes, all the food ingredients are included in the package.
Paula?
Yeah, question, is there any, are there any options like if you want to cook your meat well done instead of just regular? Do you have the option to, is there a way to control that?
Yes. So on the steak meals, you can select between I think it's just more done or less done. The less done is going to be more like medium rare. And the more done would likely be more like medium or medium well. But that will exist on proteins like steak where you might want to dial that in. For things like chicken, though, those are going to be just fully automated. They're not going to give you options because you kind of want chicken to be fully cooked.
And can you go beyond medium well to like well done?
You certainly could because if you made the meal and you wanted that steak to be more well done, I would just simply hit reheat or broil
Mhm.
and allow 2 or 3 more minutes of cooking, and that would likely take care of it. But yeah, you could definitely do that kind of touching up on your own afterwards to personalize it even more if you wanted it more well done.
Great, thank you.
Is it connected at all to any of the smart speakers to where you could just ask the A lady how much time is left on my cooking?
I've never heard the A lady. That's a good one.
Not
No,
yet. Yeah, that
I
is
call
something
her missing.
we played with years ago, but have not offered that feature yet.
it's tricky, and I've talked to Amazon about this. Um, it's getting better, but Alexa's integration when it comes to food is not great right now. They still have some more work to do before it's going to be easy and seamless to integrate with something like Alexa. But I think in the end, what you would want to be using is Tavala's app anyway, rather than Alexa, because it's all kind of condensed into one space for you to make it um, easy to do. Some of you guys might be familiar with the YouTube channel The Blind Life also. If you wanted to check out and learn more and hear about it from Sam Seavey's perspective, he did a review that he published on June 20th. So very, very recent and he goes in depth. It's about a 25-minute review, and he is awesome to work with. He gave us a lot of really good feedback. Um, there are some things that he pointed out that Tovala is going to go back and work on and fix. An example would be when you increase the font size on your phone, sometimes the rendering can get a little wonky, but the technology team at Tovala is aware of these issues and is dedicated to resolving them quickly.
Yeah, that's great. Diane?
Can you tell on the app and look how much time is there, or does that not work?
Yeah, it should tell you the time remaining. Most of the meals cook, I think, in 15 to 20 minutes. But
Oh,
there's no other steps that you have to do. It's not gonna like stop and pause and make you go do something later on.
right.
It really is just like push the button and let it go. There's audible notifications when it is done, and again, it shuts off automatically so that you're not going to run the risk of having a runaway, smoke incident or something like that when you're using the meal kits. And you don't
Oh,
have to
okay.
rush to get things out right away. I mean, it's still going to be hot in the chamber. I would say you would want to get things out within 2 to 3 minutes would be ideal, but it's not like you have to be hovering over the oven waiting for it to ding and get it out right away.
I'm giving
Well,
it a quick, sorry, I'm just giving a quick time check. It's 11:20. Oops,
oh,
are we
sorry,
still here?
that was
Oh,
probably me.
okay. Anybody have any other questions?
If any of you guys want to check out the Tovala in person, there is one in at the Vista Center in San Jose. And we can certainly get if any of you guys are in Santa Cruz or Palo Alto, we can get some to them too.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Oh, I had one question actually. So
Sure.
you just to confirm, you can cook also your other like your own stuff, right? Like if I brought, I don't know, if I had one of these in Palo Alto and I brought lunch, but it's not a Tovola meal, I can cook that lunch in that oven.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's great.
it's as convenient as it can possibly be.
Hmm.
And I'm also happy to come and do if you guys wanted to ever in person come experience what those meal kits might be like. I'm
Hmm.
happy to come down to the Vista Center and do an in-person demo and we can cook a meal kit together and have you guys check it out and do a taste test and um that way you can come up and actually touch the device and work with the app and and I'm happy to do that anytime if you guys want to schedule an in-person meeting. I'm
Yeah, I'll pass that suggestion on to my team. That might be really great.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is Perla. That's a great idea. Before we sign off, can you give us contact information if we
Yeah.
want to get a hold of you at some point?
Yeah. So if you want to get a hold of me, my email is just Travis, Travis dot REA at Tovala.com. Morgan, would you be able to email my email address out to everybody that was on the call today?
Oh, am I muted?
No, you're
Nope,
good.
you're
Okay,
good.
sorry. Yeah, either I can or Alice can.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah, and if you have any questions, please email me. You can also call me at any time. Morgan, feel free to give them my phone number too.
Mhm.
Call me, text me. Let me know if you have questions and you're at the grocery store and you want to know, am I able to cook this with the Tovala?
Mhm.
You can download the app right now, by the way, and you can scan through that list of the 1,000 scan to cook grocery items and also see the list of the 200 plus chef recipe programs. But at any time, if you guys have questions, we're here to help. So um, just let us know.
And I just mentioned that I've attended one of Travis's in-person demonstrations, and he does an excellent job of helping, cooking the food in front of you and answering all of your questions. So,
Thank
um,
you, Bob.
That would be neat to see it. That
It's
would.
so,
Yeah,
yeah, that was one of the, I did it at the Vista Center before. It was so much fun. And it's really fun when you do an in-person thing because you get to have that interaction and you get to experience the the food itself. So
Then what kind
that
of um, material can you not put in the oven of your own baking things, or cooking things? What can you not put in the oven? Let's say. I know you
I think,
said plastic, but
yeah, any standard bakeware will should be fine in the oven. Anything that can go in a traditional oven can go into the Tovala.
That's right.
oh, okay. So, but if you buy a stove meal, then you can put that.
You
Then
can, yeah. So those are using a special, um, oven safe, high heat type of container. Those are going to be fine in there too. You don't, if you get a frozen meal like a Stouffer's, you do not need to take it out and put it on the tray. Just follow the basic baking instructions.
Oh, okay. Oh, sounds. All right. Thanks. That's really, yeah. It sounds really good.
Yeah, I think the other thing that we've seen Tovala has a really high NPS, which is a net promoter score from their customers. I think 32, which is very high. When Tovala filters comments from their post-purchase survey that have to do with accessibility, that NPS jumps to 51, which is outstanding. And so they've had users, blind users for years. They have other users that have mentioned having strokes, mobility issues, and wheelchair users as well. And the comments that they have are just incredible about really changing people's lives because it allows you to have independence in the kitchen um, in a way that I think is not possible with any other device.
Cool.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. I'll definitely have to be talking to my partner about this. Like I said, we use Cook Unity right now.
Hmm.
And that's really great, but I like that with this, I mean, you can also just, make whatever you want.
And the Cook Unity require you have to use like pans and ovens and things like that.
Yeah, but we also have very limited counter space.
Gotcha.
So yeah, but we'll see. I mean, this might work out better. I like the discounts you guys offer, so
Yeah, it's one of the best. I mean, the oven essentially becomes free when you or close to free when you sign up for the meal programs, and it's 6 weeks of meals over 6 month period.
right. The only thing I'll say is with Cook Unity, we can get 16 meals at a time.
Oh, you can get up to
And
12 with Tovala. It's not just the four meals. You can get four, 6, 8, or 12.
I think
right, no, I said, sorry, I said 16. We can get 16 with the Cook Unity.
I think
So,
yeah, we offer 16 as well.
oh, you
Oh,
do?
wow.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
So you said over a 6 month period of time, all you'd have to do would be get 6 meals and then wow.
It's
Six
6 weeks.
orders.
Yeah, 6 orders.
Oh,
So I think the minimum order is going to be 4 meals.
That's right.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, still, that's good. I mean, yeah, it's a good deal.
Yeah, and then there are some people and some organizations that I've talked to. There's some assistive technology providers that do assessments that said sometimes that the meal program will be out of reach for some people, and in those cases, you can still purchase the oven and based on the price point we're not having problems getting waiver programs and other things like that to fund the oven itself. So for those users that either don't want the meal program or it might be out of reach for them financially, the oven can still have massive benefits for you in terms of automation, scan to cook technology from grocery items, and being able to cook your own food quickly and easily and have all the same safety features are all going to apply when you're cooking your own food with the automatic shutoff and things like that. So it's really versatile. I think the most benefit is going to come from using the meals in terms of their convenience, but Tavala's explicitly designed this in a way so that you can use your own food with it as well.
One thing we could do is when we send the links or your contact information is also include the Blind Life video also.
Oh,
Do you
yeah,
think
please
that might be
do.
useful?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
And then Morgan, let me know when your team wants to come down for an in-person thing. I'd love to do that again with you guys. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I will be definitely connecting with them.
Yeah, we
And
could
I'll follow up
also,
with you.
if you thought it would be helpful, like offer a kind of special promo code for your community, if that's something you were interested in sharing out with the team.
Wow, you guys are great.
You're fantastic.
I
Thank
would
you.
love to come to a, hands-on demonstration
Let's do it.
at San Jose. That'd be great.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Yeah, me too. I'm hungry.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
All right.
Well, I know we're coming up on time, so thank you guys so much. I really appreciate all of your engagement and enthusiasm and questions. It makes these presentations so much more personalized than just, kind of going through a deck and giving you a formal presentation. I love having these open-ended discussions with the Q&A.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah.
Thank you
For
so
sure.
much.
Yeah.
I'm
Thank
signing off.
you. Me too. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
It'll let me. Where's my computer?